Hey everyone, it's Zoe, your host for K-Pop Cravings on 94.3 Radio 1, and we are back with another really cool episode of something super exciting. If you haven't heard already, Squid Game Season 3 is out, 6 episodes. It's the final season most likely, and I just binged watched it. So I have a lot to talk about and we need to discuss because Squid Games is like the biggest thing on Netflix right now. The last we saw of season 2 was Gi-hun like at his lowest physically, mentally, lying on the floor and basically mourning the loss of his very close friend Jung-bae. Now he had to kind of deal with the fact that he led this failed rebellion that led to a lot of people like losing their lives, and it was all basically because of him and his like immediate need to stop the games. So his end in season 2 was quite sad and quite distraught, but in season 3 he had to figure out a way to pick himself up and get back into the games because the games are not over yet. They failed and they're back into everything once again. So I think we all were really excited for season 3 to see what would happen, how they would end the show. Would he survive? Would he be martyred? We don't know. Well, now technically I do know. So let's talk about it a little bit. If you don't want any spoilers, maybe, I don't know, go watch the show and come back here so we can discuss together, but I'll try not to give away too much. I will say we gotta talk about the games. The games this season got so much bigger and scarier. I think they put a lot of thought into, how to one-up the games a little bit more. One game was a kind of like maze with running and catching, or well, it was kind of like hide or you'll get murdered, and also find the exit in time, otherwise you'll get murdered. Everything here is about murder, unfortunately, but they did not disappoint in the sense that Squid Games is known for breaking your heart and killing the characters that you love. So I will say that if you love anyone in the show, they're probably dying. So, that's something you're gonna have to live with. But if you're like me and you love shows that kind of play with your feelings, this is one of them. There are mixed feelings about Squid Games Season 3 because obviously when you have a banger of a Season 1, it's very hard to top that. We know this with a bunch of shows like Game of Thrones. The end kind of disappointed a lot of like major fans, but I will say that I personally did not expect it to become better than season 1, obviously, because that was just like he had years to build that plot line, the story, to like reveal everything in the way that he needed to, whereas season 2, season 3 are kind of like it got greenlit, so now they have to figure out a way to make it interesting. But I will still say that they did a good job. It's not like I was disappointed, it's just that I feel like other people may have had different expectations. Now let's talk about those expectations. Here is where the spoiler might come in, so switch off the video if you don't want any and you haven't seen it yet. In the end, they do end up killing Gi-hun. Our favorite hero of Squid Games ends up dying for, well, reasons that you will see, but a lot of people are unsure of it. How it ended was the front man basically went to meet his daughter and give him like his belongings and the money that he's earned and everything like that. But people wanted Gi-hun to be the one to do that. And then the frontman kind of noticed that in this new place internationally, somebody else was also playing the games because they had the Dakji game and he saw in an alleyway like a lady who is Kate Blanchett, first of all. Another famous actor cameo that kind of like shocked us a little bit because it's Kate Blanchett. But it basically revealed that the front man is kind of confused as to why the games are still going on in this totally different country. And people are a bit confused as to his reaction because they believe that he should have known that already, and there were like little hints in the show that kind of already reveal that he knows that the games exist all over the world, but his expression of confusion confused the audience. I didn't mind it personally, but people are like, what does this mean? Why did they do that? If Gi-hun himself went to his daughter and then saw the games continuing, it could be like a wow moment of like, damn, I went through so much to stop this one game, but actually it's everywhere in the world and no one can stop this. That would have been a really cool ending of like understanding the world is like this and maybe one person isn't enough to stop it and make, a big change. But that's kind of what the netizens are talking about. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments down below. Let's discuss this because it's so interesting to hear other people's views. So sorry for the spoiler, but if you're like me and you're confused, I didn't personally have any qualms about it. I liked the uniqueness of the new games. What I didn't personally like was it was less about the games and more about the people trying to figure out loopholes in the games. So that, I guess, lost it a little bit for me. But overall, I enjoyed it. I love Squid Games as a show. I'm sad that it's ended because it was one that I would like wait for the new season to come and see what they create and like how big could it go. But what a good show. I give it like a 9 on 10. The first season though is like a 15 on 10. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you like me reviewing shows that I've watched, giving a little summary, or like just having these discussions, let me know in the comments. And definitely don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. I'm Zoe, your host for K-Pop Cravings, and you can tune in to K-Pop Cravings on 94.3 Radio 1. Bye!
94.3 Radio 1.